Throw your drink in your daughter's face.
I beg your pardon?
If you desire union between our families, throw your drink in your daughter's face.
Duke Collins, I would never.
Surely the payday from our marriage will be more than enough to cover the cleaning.
Forgive me, my heart.
Edgar's patience was running dry. He had already rejected 3 proposals that evening.
How disappointing.
Sir?
I can see this isn't about love for either of you.
But...
I must bid you good night.
But the king said that he couldn't wait to see you with a duchess by your side.
With all due respect, I'd rather marry my than any of you.
Embarrassment washed over the mother and daughter, like the evening's wine, as well as the other hopeful women. There would be no winning the Duke tonight. Talk swirled around the dreaded Duke Collins.
His business dealings are so hush-hush. I heard he even works with criminals in the cover of night.
Thanks to a friendly rivalry between the Duke and the King, and several rumors spread by His Royal Highness.
Oh, delicious.
Everyone believed the Duke was looking for a wife. He felt like he was trapped in a viper's nest with all these mothers looking to bag a son-in-law. He was said to be a cunning and dangerous man, feared by many and respected by all. And yet...
Duke Collins!
It's gonna be a miserable evening.
His title made him quite enticing. He owned nearly as much land as the king himself.
So kind of you to attend this evening.
Save it, Baron. You know I'm here. Unlike the king, I'm not convinced you're going to prove yourself useful to our cause.
Duke Edgar was currently investigating the disappearance of several young women in town and was desperate for a lead.
How about a drink? It's a party!
I'm not here for a drink. The missing women, where are they?
I don't know. Yeah, but I have information. Upstairs. You wouldn't want all these people to get the wrong idea about you, would you?
It wouldn't take too long to break the neck of such a slender, weak old man. Would that be entertaining enough for your guest?
Please bring it up, and I'll go fetch it.
I'll need a moment to smoke.
Ah.
Alone.
Well, why not use the garden? It's off limits to the other guests, but you're welcome. My daughter would like to have a moment with you.
Had other plans.
Of that, I'm very aware, Alesandra. Don't act so surprised. We've all heard the stories of the cursed daughter of Baron Desmond Barrett.
You're not scared of me?
That's not a very frightening mask.
Alesandra was intrigued. No one had ever been this nice to her upon first meeting, especially no man.
I don't believe I know who you are.
Collins. Edgar.
The Duke? Are you here to marry my sister?
Something about this girl intrigued the Duke.
I'd rather die. No offense. The women inside are all like matching dolls. Too similar, too perfect.
A thought came to her. She couldn't resist its temptation.
And what say you of me, then? If I were to ask you to marry me, what would you say?
You'd be setting yourself up for a loveless marriage. I have no interest.
Is it untrue? Do not long for a wife?
The king has played quite the joke.
The king loved to play his little games with Edgar.
Well, I've no need for love. I've hardly ever known it.
All women yearn to be loved. You cannot guarantee me that you will not grow wanting.
A contract, then, legally binding. If I fall in love, we divorce.
Did your father put you up to this?
This offer has nothing to do with helping my father. I leave that up to you to believe me. I'm not interested in marrying anyone for love. I only wish to leave this place and never look back.
Edgar was surprised by her honesty. There was opportunity here.
Oh, would you marry me despite him?
I am dying within these walls, day by day, piece by piece. I am neglected and unloved by my own father. I do not care for your looks, Duke Edgar, nor your money. Frankly, I see you as an escape.
You know, it would be nothing for one to hire an actress or a prostitute to play that role.
If you wanted, you would have done so already. If the king has played this joke to toy with you, then surely marrying the cursed daughter of Baron Desmond Barrett would fill him with remorse.
You're much quicker on your feet than I expected. Rumors about your timidity and reclusive nature are clearly false. Join me in my residence tomorrow on the edge of town. I'd love to discuss this further.
But Father would never allow it.
You must be mistaken then. I thought you wanted to leave.
She wanted to, but couldn't think fast enough to stop him.
Duke Collins!
But it would have to wait. Alesandra's sister had arrived.
Father told me to find you. Are you out here all alone?
Kate Barrett, I presume. I was just about to.
Kate's blood boiled at the sight of Alesandra.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry that thing has bothered you. It wasn't meant to be out here.
She is your sister, and I'm sure she doesn't appreciate being referred to as...
The Duke was disappointed at seeing Alesandra was no longer around. Disappointed?
Oh, sweetie, siblings often have little pet names for each other, do they not? You were an only child, so I can forgive you for that.
I'm sure that excuse allows you to sleep quite soundly at night.
Kate would do anything to make the Duke see she'd make a good wife. Her family had a problem, and he was their best solution.
The stories do not do you justice, Duke Collins. I must admit, I was hoping to get you here alone. A man of your position and a woman of my beauty would make a powerful union, don't you agree?
As hard as it may be to believe, not all men are so susceptible to the fluttering of your eyelashes. Besides, I received another, more promising offer. Now, if you'll excuse me.
The Duke didn't give Alesandra away. Maybe it really was the solution to her problems. Kate, on the other hand, was both surprised and embarrassed to hear someone had already caught the Duke's eye.
Alesandra, I'd like a word. Did the Duke say anything about another woman? Don't think you'll get away with disobeying Father's orders.
Mario, are you in here? I never received my dinner.
A bit bland, is it not?
Mario, Alessandra's only friend and confidant. He never refuses a respite when offered.
Cover for me, lovely. I won't be long.
No one came to deliver my food. I was told to wait for it in the garden.
In the garden? Who told you that? We were never told to send it here.
Alesandra did not like thinking ill of people, but she also distinctly remembered her stepmother promising to inform the kitchen staff.
Maybe it just got lost in all the shuffle. Just a month ago, they were laying off half the staff. Now we have this party and there's not enough of us to handle the job. What were they thinking?
Haven't you heard? Duke Collins longs for a wife. My father wants him to marry Kate.
So that's the reason. Well, I can only imagine she's driving him mad.
I've spoken with him.
The Duke? Alesandra? I've heard stories he's killed 14 men in one night.
There are also many stories about me as well. Do you believe them?
Of course not.
I can't tell you what we spoke about, but I will say I am hopeful for some very good news.
Is this your new escape plan? Fall out a gun, it doesn't go bang.
Well, knives don't really make sounds.
I'm being serious. He is a violent man. That much I witnessed personally tonight.
Mario, quit faffing about.
I'm still waiting on my food.
Right away. Promise me?
I promise.
Alesandra listened to the sounds of the party, and she imagined she was among them, drinking, laughing, gossiping, dancing among the music and the food and the friends. She wanted it. All of it. She had it in her mind. She was there. Then She opened her eyes.
Is something wrong?
No, it's nothing. I was just thinking about life.
It'll get better soon.
For every rain cloud, there's a rainbow, right?
When was the last time you saw a rainbow here in Lockwood? I was going to say, happiness is when the next shipment of rum comes in.
Thank you.
Someday, Alesandra thought. Besides Mario, the other staff had a tendency to avoid Alesandra. Still, she was always polite to them.
Yoo-hoo, barmaid, I'm in need of some refreshment.
All right, I'll see you back at the kitchen. You should be more careful with vulgarity. Stepmother might see you.
Please, please don't hurt me.
What? Hurt you?
Alesandra knew there were many rumors spread about her. So many, she could hardly keep track of all of them.
If you see under my mask, you die. Is that what they told you? Don't believe everything you hear. Please. May I enter my room? Thank you. Kitty. It's just you and I tonight, I'm afraid.
Her stepmother would be furious if she knew Alesandra kept a pet. But Kitty was the only thing that Alesandra could truly call hers.
Breakfast, my lady. My lady, please. It'll get cold.
Alesandra knew there was only one reason the maids wouldn't just leave food at the door and run.
Kate is here. I will come back for you later.
Alesandra, get out here this instant.
Coming. What is it?
Good morning, sister.
Good morning.
Leave us. Did you enjoy yourself last night, Alesandra?
Very much so. The music reached my room.
Tell me, what was it you were discussing with Duke Collins last night?
He scolded me for being unable to recognize someone of his stature, and then you arrived.
Is that so? Was there anything else?
He spoke briefly of you.
What did he say?
He pondered aloud, weighed his options. He thought you were pretty, like a doll, I swear.
That makes sense. He's playing hard to get. And I suppose there really would be no reason for him to talk to you unless it was about me.
Of course.
Well, anyway, I'm appalled you had the audacity to speak with him. You risked dissuading him from marrying into our houses by showing your hideous face.
Why did you do that? Ah! Stop!
Father, it was an accident.
As callous as Baron Barrett could be towards his daughter, he did not abide her direct mistreatment.
I shall see to her discipline then. Run along. What have I taken guests out to the garden?
I needed dinner. You want me to starve?
Fine, fine. There's absolutely no point scolding you. Whoever didn't bring your food is to blame. I'm sorry about what Kate did to you, but she's just looking out for the family. You must be bored in your room all alone all the time. Let me prepare for some entertainment for you.
Can I take the stagecoach to look for places of interest to paint today? I promise I will not leave the carriage.
The Baron understood it was better to allow a pet bird some freedom, so she would not test the limits of her cage.
Very well.
Meanwhile, Edgar, at his window, eagerly awaited the arrival of his new friend.
Young master.
Good morning, Alfred.
Your tea, sir.
Alfred was confused by his master's behavior. Edgar was usually only like this when his mother visited.
Expecting guests?
I met someone of interest. In truth, she was invited, but I'm unsure if she's desperate enough.
She, a woman, visiting here in broad daylight.
What are you implying? Do you think of me some sort of rake?
Indeed.
I've known you for far too long. Please refrain from speaking such a way when my guest arrives. I intend to make her the lady of the house.
What?
Edgar knew he could trust Alfred to keep a secret or two.
Are you surprised?
Well, I recall your exact words to the king were, "I'd sooner cut off my own manhood than lose it to a woman." But surely I've misinterpreted your intent.
Alfred, I sincerely believe I inherited my dramatic nature from you. I'm not interested in marriage, but the woman I met last night is intriguing. A perfect way to piss off the king and ward off some other people.
So, who should I be expecting?
Alesandra marveled at the size of the Duke's estate, and the beautiful manor at the center of it all, that seemed to tower over everything.
This place is humongous.
Good morning.
Good morning to you too.
Welcome, Alesandra Baron. The Duke eagerly awaits you.
Alesandra worried that her mask might be a problem, but per the Duke's orders, Alfred had already instructed the staff not to react when they saw it.
Right this way, Millie.
Wait, I didn't get your name.
Alfred. Most people never ask.
Most people are cruel. Well met, Alfred.
As Alesandra entered the Duke's home for the first time, the sheer extravagance of it all took her breath away.
To be honest, I began to think you wouldn't show up. Have you eaten?
This was the first time in years Alesandra had been invited to eat at a table with someone.
Thank you.
So, how did you escape? Did you play a trick on the Baron, or did he allow you to leave willingly?
I am not working with my father, I assure you. In fact, I took a great risk being here today. You must know that I am extremely serious about this. There's no going back for me.
Does your father hate you?
Alesandra hoped he didn't, at least. In truth, she did not know.
Hate is the wrong word. Ashamed.
And he should be. In another view, every child deserves to be cherished by their parents. It's unfortunate that you were born under his charge.
If I were the daughter of some farmer, they would have tossed me out with the other weeds.
Would a farmer's daughter have intentionally been disfigured, such as yourself? The life of a peasant is rarely as ruthless as high society.
I don't want to talk about that.
No. Someone must have been very jealous of you, Alesandra.
Alesandra couldn't bear to speak. Some truths are far too painful.
Let's say I believe you. Why would someone, for their whole life who's been hiding, seek to marry someone who's in the limelight? How does that serve you?
Alesandra was fed up that people mistook her kindness for weakness.
Truthfully, I did not plan on asking you to marry me. It was a spur-of-the-moment decision. I need an escape plan, and my only option is marriage. I I never pictured that person to be quite as grand as you. But you fulfill all the criteria. There are only two things that I considered, Duke Collins. One, you are a notoriously private person, in spite of all the rumors that swirl around you. Secondly, you are quite capable of bringing my family to heel.
And how does that benefit me?
No one would dare bother a man with a cursed bride, especially one they say can kill with a glance.
She was far from that scared girl he met in the garden the night before.
I'd love to attend parties, to talk, to laugh, to dance. I'd rather die than live another day in the shadows.
Good.
Good. Sorry, what is good?
A contract needs rules and conditions. Correct?
He's writing a contract? Alesandra thought. Isn't this all too easy?
What are you waiting for? State your demand. What happened to your hand?
It's nothing.
If you were to be my wife, then it is certainly something more. Name the culprit, and I shall have them punished.
It was an accident.
Well, let us be sure that there are no further accidents if you deliver before we wed.
I will certainly try. Well, based on our previous conversation, we are not to fall in love, correct? That, Duke Collins, is a promise I intend to keep.
Well, let us hope you're always disagreeable.
To be quite frank, you are simply not my type.
What type do you fancy?
What should be the second condition?
Well, obviously, speak of this contract to no one other than my butler and myself. In fact, we should communicate all matters openly and thoroughly, even minor secrets breed contempt. Which can be, of course.
Do you intend me to bear children?
Oh, hide your worries. I have no need for a child to dirty these halls just yet.
And you wouldn't mind me mothering that child, eventually?
I don't understand the question.
You don't understand?
You're getting on my nerves. Do you think if I was uncomfortable with the idea, I would entertain the prospect of marrying you?
Can we take a walk? It is not that I don't long for motherhood, or even raising a family. I'm simply worried what horrors a child of mine might face. Rumors swirl around me. The both of us. What if the child becomes yet another subject of discourse?
If you cut out a man's tongue, eventually people tire of hearing him gurgle. No one would dare speak ill of our child. My child. I would make sure of that.
There was obviously some truth to the rumor that Duke Collins was dangerous. She couldn't shake the feeling that his friendly demeanor with her was some sort of act. Still, she longed for the freedom he offered.
I'll do it.
Do what?
Sign the contract, Duke Collins. So long as you can shield the child and I from abuse.
Would you like to live with me till we're wed? I wager would stop whatever accidents resulted.
I appreciate your kindness. And I do believe you can protect me from rumors after our wedding, but...
Rumors are such messy things. Especially when they concern our personal lives. No, they often come in handy in my line of work.
Line of work?
The king enlisted me to investigate certain criminal acts on his behalf. My station gives me a few advantages that a normal constable does not have.
Alesandra recalled Mario telling her that Duke Collins had accosted her father over information on the missing women.
Is that why you were at the party last night? You were looking for information?
Your father enticed me with the prospect. He had nothing to share that I didn't already know.
I apologize on behalf of my father. He is quite enthusiastic about you marrying Kate. Likely saw an opportunity to encourage your meeting.
As soon as we're wed, your family shall be forbidden from entering my home. I hope you don't mind.
She did not.
Thank you so much for the lovely tour. You have a beautiful home. I'm quite jealous of your paintings.
My mother would complain that the walls were too bare. Will you paint it yourself?
I dabble.
She did more than dabble. It was her favorite pastime. Nothing compared to the feeling of distilling a bit of life onto canvas.
And how would one go about buying a few Barrett originals?
No. I am not a professional by any means.
I'd rather buy art from someone I know than try and find what others find agreeable.
You've no more room for any paintings of mine.
Alfred, take down the ones from the Bloody Dutchman. The Rembrandt?
Are you insane?
I have consulted a doctor about her. I have a clean bill of health. If you're to live here, then it's very important that you be able to leave your mark on it.
I will send you a few pieces. Thank you, Duke Collins.
Please, call me Edgar.
Thank you, Edgar.
Whatever you think is fair, let Alfred know the price.
Goodbye, Edgar. Goodbye, Alfred.
Shall I prepare an engagement ring?
For tomorrow morning, please.
What happens tomorrow morning?
Edgar explained that he and Alesandra planned to announce their engagement in front of her family the following morning.
Oh, why so surprised, Alfred? I'm beginning to think these paintings as well. I asked you already.
He wanted Alfred to bring the family a few gifts to celebrate. Cigars, jewelry, and paint for Alesandra.
Lots of it. And then when you're done taking these down, please clean out my room. We have to prepare space for her things.
You're sharing a room?
But this house is vast and I don't enjoy hiking.
Right. All right.
Alesandra felt like she was in a dream. In just a short time, she would be free of her family's abuse.
I'm going to marry Duke Collins.
Where on earth have you been?
But some dreams have rude awakenings.
Your father must have gone mad if he allowed you to leave this house.
I did not leave the carriage.
What would the townsfolk say if they were to learn that you were riding around amongst them?
Mother...
Your mother left you. Neither you nor your father seem to realize the suffering that has caused me to put up with you.
I'm sorry.
I hope you enjoyed your day out. It will never happen again. Now, your presence drains me. I'm tired of seeing that revolting mask.
You speak as if you weren't a part of why I wear it.
It'll all be over soon, she thought. Edgar might have noticed her hand, but Alesandra wasn't going to get him involved in her family drama.
Kate, not one more step. Mother said we were not allowed to have pets in the house. Imagine my surprise when I discovered this little creature in your closet.
Kate, I will take care of it. Please. It does not deserve to be the innocent victim in our games.
Father was furious with me. He said I was the reason the Duke left early last night. And I really wasn't. Was I, Alesandra?
I am so sorry, Kate. I will make it up to you. No!
Alesandra grew more desperate by the second. This didn't bode well for the staff.
Why is she running around?
No! How get you out of here? It's my fault. I should have hid you better and taken you with me. Hold on. Has anyone seen my father? Where is he? I need to talk with him.
What is all this incessant whining? Have you lost your damn mind?
Alesandra knew Katrina would refuse to help save the dying cat.
What is that wretched thing? I made it quite clear that I do not want pets in this house.
Still, she had to try for Kitty.
Please, it is in pain. It needs a doctor. Help me and I swear I will find a new owner.
Look, just throw it out. It looks dead already.
Your daughter did this. For once in your life, hold her accountable for what she has done.
Do not blame my daughter for your own sins. Do you want to spend another night starving out in the garden?
Kate did many horrible things, but in everyone's eyes, she remained an angel, while Alesandra was called a monster. The girl was tired, so very tired.
This house is just so frustrating.
That does not sound like an apology. You there, take that animal and throw it out.
Fine, Alesandra thought. If they see me as a monster, so be it.
Touch me or this kitten, and I will kill you. Mark my words.
Are you listening? I gave you an order. Pry that thing from her arms, or you're out of a job.
Screw this, thought the maid.
Inform the butler that Alesandra is to remain locked in a room. Let her starve in there. When you're done, pack your things and get the hell out.
Katrina had granted Alesandra blessing without realizing it. She wanted to care for the kitten without anyone interrupting her.
Hold on till tomorrow, little one. He will come for the both of us.
Until the Duke arrived the next day, she wanted to be alone.
Kitty, you feeling better? Kitty?
Kitty had no reply. Meanwhile, as Alesandra was starving, grieving, and alone, her family enjoyed their morning tea in peace.
If Alesandra gets to keep the cat, it's only fair that I have a puppy. Pretty please, Daddy.
Not a chance, Princess.
But I want it. She gets everything she wants. Alesandra got to speak with the Duke. Well, I hardly got so much as a word.
Kate, don't eat so quickly. You'll never find a good husband if you choke to death. Besides, you still have a chance to woo the Duke at the ball later this week. And for that, you'll need to fit in the corset.
Mother!
She's right, you know. Putting out quite a bit of money on the line for your future. We don't have much left, and we need the Duke to save us.
Sir, Duke Edgar Collins is here to visit. He's brought his butler.
The Duke! Mother!
I didn't know he was visiting. Desmond, did you know?
No. Well, what are you doing standing there? Bring in the Duke right away.
Should I change quickly? Edgar?
Duke Collins, to what do I owe the honor of this visit?
I have something to discuss with your entire family.
Yes, well then, please, have a seat. Would you care for anything to eat? We're just now having our morning tea.
I've already eaten. Baron, no doubt that you've heard the rumors that I'm looking for a wife.
No, I haven't heard such a preposterous rumor. Is it true, perchance?
I intend to marry your daughter.
What spectacular news!
Kate will make a spectacular bride!
You're mistaken. I intend to marry your other daughter, Alesandra.
Alesandra? My Alesandra? Duke Collins, the townspeople believe her to be cursed. That would surely impact your reputation.
Not so petty as to be concerned with such trivialities. There are plenty of rumors about me.
But
I hope you're not implying that your reputation might be soiled by my visiting here.
no. But kindly, Duke Collins, you and my daughter are two different people.
You're special.
And Alesandra is not.
Edgar was starting to wonder why Alesandra was not eating with her family.
That's not what we meant. But out of my two daughters, Kate is the smarter choice. She has many prospective offers, quite a few young men of high status seeking her hand.
And Kate will be just fine with my rejection. I'm here for Alesandra. Where is she? Why are you hiding her from me?
Duke Collins, it is uncouth of you to keep asking for Alesandra. She does not possess an adult's mind.
What did you say?
Desmond feared Edgar would strangle her for saying that.
Wait, fine. I shall take you to her straight away. I assure you, Alesandra will give you the same answer. She doesn't like to be seen by others. Yes, right. This way, please.
Alfred, wait here.
Lovely home.
And we've given her the best view in the whole house. Alesandra, we have a guest.
What happened?
Well, you see,
I waited for you.
Alesandra, apologize this instant.
What have I done to deserve this? I promise I will rectify it. Please, tell me.
My kitten passed away this morning, and I am confined to my room for punishment. I can't leave to bury it. Why are you here, Duke Collins?
Her words said, "Why are you here?" But her eyes said, "Where were you?"
I'm here now to ask for your hand. But your family seems to think that's a bad decision. Do you agree?
You said you would protect me.
You've spent your life as sheep among foxes. We can be wolves.
Alesandra, Duke Edgar's no ordinary man. You're not prepared for the demands of high society. Why don't you...
Enough! Father, I've made my decision.
Will Alesandra resist the allure of the Duke? Or will she lose herself in her pursuit of vengeance?
Stop! Your presence strains me. I'm tired of seeing that revolting mask. Not blame my daughter for your own sins. Do you want to spend another night starving out in the garden?
All right, Duke Collins. Let us be wolves.
What dark secret does Edgar have in store for Alesandra? And what secrets lie under her mask?
Alesandra, let's think this over.
Baron, Edgar snapped his fingers in front of the Baron's face. They had been waiting a good minute or so, watching the Baron just stare at nothing.
Duke Edgar, well, I am honored you have taken an interest in Alesandra. As her father, I know what is best for her, and I shall decline your proposal. Again, I suggest you consider my daughter Kate. Alesandra, would you be so kind to step into your room for a moment?
Edgar said with a smile, but it was evident it didn't reach his eyes. Alesandra nodded, stepped back into the room, and closed the door. She jumped when there was a loud thud on the other side, like someone had run into her door. She didn't flinch the second time she heard the noise again. Is this the Duke's way of convincing someone? She asked herself. Her poor father must be trembling in fear. Why did she have to miss that sight?
Alesandra,
her father called, followed by a knock after. That fast, she muttered, opening the door to hear her father's decision. Alesandra watched Edgar fix the cuffs of his shirt, while her father looked distraught. He was here to ask for her hand in marriage, not cause a funeral.
After some time to think, it would be wonderful if you could get married to Edgar. He wishes to speak with you, so I shall leave.
Desmond ran off the first chance he got. His back was aching, thanks to Edgar lifting him up to throw him against the door. What did you do and say to him? Asked Alesandra. It had to be something damaging to make her father give up on pushing Kate as his wife.
I am a man with a lot of information, and your father is a man with a handful of crimes in his pocket. I'll allow one of them to slip by this one time, but after we are officially married, I can't help it if he is investigated for them, said Edgar. Wow, was the only thing Alesandra could say. She was amazed by how easy it was for him to threaten someone to get what he wanted. Knowledge certainly was power, and whatever the Duke knew scared her father. Do you ever worry that others will kill you for knowing their business? If I am always one step ahead of them, I have nothing to worry about. Do not worry. Your husband will not die anytime soon. Can I come in to talk? Anyone could be listening to us. Edgar looked down the empty hall, but he knew looks could be deceiving. And sometimes walls had ears, thanks to secret places in homes. Oh, right. Alesandra stepped aside for him to come in. She did not care about what gossip could form by him coming into her room alone, as they were going to be married anyway. It's not as grand as your home, but it is my space to get away. Seems more like a prison. Edgar had enough of them on his property to know a holding cell when he saw one. This is your art. He picked up one of the canvases she had stacked up against a wall. I prefer not to call it a prison. That would make my life seem much sadder. I like to think of it as the only place where anyone could be free. Alesandra intently watched Edgar inspect her bedroom. From the looks of your family, I could see why you think that. Are you not allowed to leave here? Why weren't you at breakfast? Or was that your own choice? He carefully placed the canvas back in its place. I am on punishment, Alesandra said, not keeping what happened a secret. Kate threw my kitten out the window, but as always, no one believes how she is. I am meant to be here until I'm ready to apologize. If you do, I will not marry you. Edgar wanted her to have more of a backbone and no longer give in to what her family wanted. I never planned to. My kitten died because of Kate's jealousy, and I would never apologize for how angry I'm feeling. I have to bury it once the punishment is lifted. Edgar, is it still an option for me to come and live with you until we get married?
Alesandra no longer wanted to stay with her family. Edgar leaned back against a wall, folding his arms. No. Alesandra didn't understand why he wouldn't agree to it when he was the one to mention it first. Why not?
Alesandra, I won't have a wife who allows others to walk over her. Don't let them run you away from here with your tail between your legs, or allow them to torture you any further. You are going to be my wife. My name carries more power than you seem to realize. Use it,
he advised her. Alesandra might not notice it yet, but things were slowly starting to change due to this one visit. Her family could no longer lay a hand on her because of her soon-to-be husband.
I did not want to use your name to deal with my family drama. I just wanted it to be able to leave,
Alesandra replied.
It would feel wrong. You marrying me is already more than enough. Do not run away from here a coward, Alesandra. Gracefully leave this place with your head up. I don't care how you use my name to torture these people here. Just do it. Stop pretending to be afraid because you think it's safer to cower than to fight back. That act you do ends now. Don't you agree?
Edgar extended his hand out for Alesandra to take for them to rejoin her family.
Start gaining that confidence you spoke of.
There were a lot of things Alesandra wanted to do in her home if she had someone to back her. Not that she did. She almost let the opportunity slip to do as she pleased. Deep down, she was glad the Duke was pushing her in this direction. She was wearing more than one mask in her life. The physical one to hide her face, and the one she used to act timidly in front of her family. One of those masks had to come off today.
Yes.
She accepted Edgar's hand.
Desmond, you cannot be considering Alesandra being the one to marry the Duke,
Katrina said when Desmond returned to the table.
He is hell-bent on marrying Alesandra, and she has agreed. I have no choice but to entertain it.
Desmond took up a napkin from the table to clean the sweat dripping from his forehead.
He threatened me. Still, we have to think about Kate here. Do you know how embarrassing it will be for her to lose Edgar to Alesandra? For heaven's sake, the girl wears a mask. Has the Duke seen her face? Something isn't right.
Katrina couldn't make sense of what was happening.
Did you find out what was said between the two of them the night of the party? Alesandra had to be lying. She must be threatening the Duke,
Kate concluded. It was the only thing making sense to her.
Kate, how on earth would Alesandra be able to threaten a man like Edgar when she is always here?
Desmond was trying to make sense of the situation, but the theory Kate came up with was ridiculous.
I have said many times that man is unpredictable. We will never understand why he picked Alesandra. Father, you can't allow him to marry her. I have worked too hard for a moment like this for it to go to Alesandra. She's only agreeing to this to irk me. I will speak with the Duke.
Kate's chair screeched as she stood up. There was no way she would lose to Alesandra again.
Speak with me about what?
Edgar asked as he entered the dining room, but he was not alone. Alesandra was right beside him, holding his hand as she walked.
I'm sure the Baron has told you the good news, that Alesandra and I shall wed soon. Alfred, the gifts? Yes, young master.
Alfred moved as quickly as he could to place each of the gifts in front of the 3 family members.
There will be more gifts to be delivered here, but this is just a small taste of what is to come. I hope it is to your liking. Do you wish to sit, Alesandra?
Edgar pulled out a chair for her.
Thank you.
Alesandra replied and took a seat in the chair. The first person her eyes went to was Kate, since her sister was the one watching her the most. You have not opened the gift, Kate. You? Kate started, but stopped herself when she met the Duke's eyes. They were daring her to say something he wouldn't like. Why is he acting like this now? She thought. Alesandra, please enlighten us about what is happening. Why did you say yes to the Duke? You are not one to want to get married, said Katrina. No one has ever asked me, Mother. I am thrilled to marry a man like the Duke. I've heard many good things about him, thanks to Kate. Isn't he a good man, Kate? Alesandra glanced at her fuming sister. He was mine, Kate replied, ignoring her father signaling for her to shut up. She sat back down, unable to stand and watch the Duke be protective of Alesandra. I don't remember ever giving you that idea, Kate. I thought we had gotten rid of the drug which causes one to see things that are not real. Are they still around, Baron? Edgar said as he stood over where Alesandra sat. Of course not. It has been gotten rid of a long time ago. As I recall, you took quite a few of them. I would hate to know your younger daughter has gotten her hands on them. If that is the case, I shall pity her desperate attempts to gain my affection, when I stated I would never have any romantic feelings for her. I can take you to get treated, Edgar offered Kate. Her delusion in thinking they were something more than strangers irked his soul. I would have been able to take you at the same time I would have taken Alessandra's kitten to be healed, but it has unfortunately passed away. To be thrown against something is quite painful. Isn't that right, Baron? Edgar subtly recalled his earlier conversation with the Baron. Yes. Desmond could still feel the pain from being thrown against Alessandra's door by Edgar. No offense, Duke Edgar, but you cannot waltz into our home and get involved with our family issues. You are not married to Alesandra as yet. Whatever happened to the kitten is none of your concern. Alesandra knows there are no pets allowed. Katrina did not want the issue with the kitten discussed, since Kate's name would be mentioned. Forgive me. Alesandra is now my fiancée, and anything that makes her upset concerns me. I care for her so much I could kill anyone who upsets her. Edgar glared at Kate. He had a feeling out of the three, Kate was the one harming Alesandra the most. He had one thing in common with Alesandra so far, a dislike for Kate. Kate fidgeted in her seat as she picked up on the warning Edgar was sending her. She clenched her fists out of anger under the table, to the point her nails were painfully digging into her skin, but she didn't feel anything. Edgar placed his hand on Alessandra's shoulder for her to start speaking up. I have not eaten yet. Please, set the table for me, Mother, Alesandra said to Katrina. Katrina scoffed, disgusted by Alesandra calling her mother and ordering her to set the table for her. She's finally showing how crazy she is. Katrina bit her tongue to refrain from arguing with Alesandra. The Duke was standing behind Alesandra defensively, like an animal waiting to attack anyone who offended its master. Katrina had many things to say to Alesandra, but she would wait for when the Duke left. Katrina, do it now. Desmond felt like he was the only one seeing the gravity of the situation they were in. The Duke, for some reason, was smitten by Alesandra, which meant they could not trouble his daughter or Edgar might truly kill them. Desmond knew the true face of Edgar Collins, unlike his wife and daughter. The man was merely toying with them right now, but once he got bored, his true personality would show up. Thanks to the punishment, I have not eaten since yesterday morning, You have to hurry before the food becomes cold, Mother. Alesandra made sure to add emphasis to the word mother to get under Katrina's skin. She planned to make this house uncomfortable for the three of them, just as it was for her. I will be back. Katrina suddenly didn't mind leaving, since she needed to grab hold of something to break. Why aren't there maids stationed in the dining room to fetch whatever you need? Asked Edgar. He knew the Baron was running low on funds, but he did not know it was this bad. Why did the idiot just throw a party when he could have used that money to hire more workers or to invest in something? Desmond's forehead continued to sweat as he felt embarrassed. If you had given me a notice you would be arriving, I would have placed the maids in here to serve you and Alesandra well. You're saying I should have given you a heads up so you could place an illusion as if you have many workers? Edgar saw right through Desmond's... Alesandra smiled, enjoying her father being called out and the sight of him unable to talk back to the Duke. She realized now that her father could only pick on those he viewed as beneath him. Alesandra finally saw how pathetic he truly was. While Alesandra was enjoying her father breaking down, the sight of her smiling angered Kate even more. Are you enjoying this, Alesandra? This is ridiculous, Kate scoffed. Don't think this will last long. You should work on getting over your jealousy, Kate. Green is not a good look for you, Alesandra replied. Edgar snickered, due to the fact Kate was wearing a green dress, so Alessandra's words had a double meaning. He wanted to applaud her for slowly coming out of her shell. You! Kate smacked the table and abruptly stood up. Do you think his interest in you will last long after he sees what is under that mask? Edgar, before you confirm this marriage, shouldn't you take a look at her face? Aren't you curious about what she's hiding? She's truly repulsive once you see it. Shall we show him, Alesandra? Alesandra could not respond to Kate's words. She could not show Edgar her face yet, as she was not that confident. There is no need for me to do that, Edgar answered in place of Alesandra. I have seen her face without the mask before. How dare you stand here and lie about her face to me? Alessandra's eyes went wide upon hearing his confession. She could not place where the Duke would have ever been able to see her face without the mask. She only took it off in her bedroom. Unless he saw her when she was younger, before the accident happened, and she chose to wear a mask.
To listen to the full audio series, install the Pocket FM app now.
Pocket FM. Download the app now.